Guten Tag and greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to begin by offering my heartfelt and humble thanks for having been included in this momentous event among so many distinguished figures. Or, to put it more simply, Shalom ותודה מקרב לב, חברים יקרים. Two other Hebrew words come to mind when a native Israeli like me gazes around at this charming Swiss town where Herzl established the Jewish state. Those words are מה הקשר? What's the connection? What links these things that seem so unrelated and uncanny? Why did Herzl have to come to Basel, of all places, so that we, the Jewish people, could return to Zion? What do these elegant cafes and churches have to do with the souks and synagogue of the Middle East? The cool river Rhine with the blazing Mediterranean coast? And if you think the contrast is stark today, when Israel is booming and blooming, just imagine how things seemed 125 years ago, when it was a sleepy desert corner of the Ottoman Empire. But friends, the contrast is the point. Herzl worked a miracle in this town, and miracles are all about contrast because they defy and transform reality. Herzl himself was a study in contrast, a secular Jew doubling as a bearded prophet, a playwright taking center stage in an epic drama without a script, a statesman of a state not yet created, a troubled soul with rock-solid commitment to the cause, a visionary and a pragmatist. That kaleidoscope of traits helped Herzl win over world leaders as well as the Jewish philanthropists and chief rabbis who resisted his Zionist design. And it is the kaleidoscope of traits that makes the modern state of Israel a miracle each and every day. It's optimism against the odds. It's fight for peace. It's profoundly diverse people united by profound destiny. It's pride in being so self-critical. It's tradition and innovations. Friends, I happen to live in Herzliya, the town that owes its name to the man we have gathered here to honor. But I feel that I owe my own life, my very existence, to him as well. In the 1930s, my parents made their separate path to pre-state Israel from Poland. They were only teenagers, and they came alone. They did so because in the spirit of Herzl, they sensed the gathering doom of European Jewry. They did so despite the fact that some Polish rabbis were urging Jews to stay by saying, God is everywhere. God is in Poland. God is in Zion. So stay in Poland. My parents survived while their relatives in Poland perished. They raised my brothers and me like they helped to build their new country, Israel, with joy and pride and free of fear. When I was 16, Israel captured Nazi mastermind Adolf Eichmann and held a televised trial. It was a turning point for me, an eye-opener. I suddenly understood what Herzl had experienced when he witnessed the Dreyfus affair. For the first time, I learned of the darker side of Jewish destiny, the eternal menace of murderous anti-Semitism. And following Herzl's example, I would combine those two forces, positive and negative, affirmative and defensive, in my life. I served as an IDF officer conducting secret military research. I went on to a career in healing as a doctor and addiction expert. When I met Sheldon, the man who would become my husband for 30 years and the love of my life, what drew me was his Herzl-like vision and drive, his ability to both dream and do. As a couple, Sheldon and I were also a study in contrast. Me, a Sabra. He, an American through and through. We harnessed our differences for a common cause, Israel and Jewish continuity. We championed projects that others might have dismissed as folly, like getting the United States to move its embassy to Jerusalem, or bringing every young Jew on a visit to Israel. From Yad Vashem to Birthright, we fused past to present to future. We made it work because we cared about what counted and dismissed what did not, because we cherished and worried for each and every Jew, even if not all of them agreed with us. Because in our modest emulation of the great Herzl, we were willing to go it alone for the sake of our unique and deserving nation. Friends, as we conclude this conference, and later, when we return to our homes in Israel or in the diaspora, let us keep up those contrasts. Let us remember that our differences make us adaptable and strong and interesting, because that is the Jewishness that Herzl knew and loved, the collective condition that he rightly intuited would bring about our redemption. Thank you, and toda rabah.